That's the book you gave me, right?
Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason.
Just curious, how come you have two copies of the same book?
Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday. That's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them.
I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon.
I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down.
No, that's not her voice. I'll just stick with a deep voice.
It's a very engaging and relatable story.
That's more like Patrick Warburton. Okay, I'll just stick with that. Is that so? What's it about anyway?
Well,
Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous looking eye symbol on the front cover.
Alright. I just wanted to make sure I didn't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister.
I cannot stick with a voice.
But as soon as she does, let me get into it. Hey, Peter, can you pass me the egg beater? But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escape from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart.
That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden.
Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Fist?
No, I'm a tough guy. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry.
I hope so.
Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different.
It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a stranger perspective. When horrible things happen not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry.
Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything.
Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem.
Oh God, here we go.
When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much.
I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all.
That's true.
And in fact, I might as well get started reading it, right?
You don't have to.
What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it. ... Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. This music kind of sounds like Legend of Zelda for some reason.
Yeah.
Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive.
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone.
I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything.
Alright.
I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means by reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting. But the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead.
Sorry. I was just...
Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you?
I do. I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean...
Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's and then hold my book more between the two of them. I got moves.
I suppose so.
Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. This game is too much. It feels like my left arm is in the way. So instead I use my right hand to hold the book open? I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page.
Here.
Oh. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. Oh, like what's described in the picture here. Ah. I do the same with my right arm, on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips. I think we get the concept of what's happening here. Why are they explaining how page turning... I complain too much. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. Oh boy. Sorry, I gotta turn down my phone. It keeps vibrating. Jesus. Okay. We're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision.
Are you ready?
To
turn the page?
Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her.
That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer.
Oh, she smiled out of nowhere. I missed that. Oh god.
It's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me.
Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit.
You think so? How does she?
Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second-guesses all of the things that she says and does. Like, she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms.
I see.